everybody, Sue here with She Sells, coming to you with another video on this beautiful January day in Atlanta. Don't know exactly the temperature. Let's see if I can see here. It's probably about 60 again, and usually we have this back and forth in December, and January, February usually stays pretty cold, although this happens once in a while. I've got the windows open a little bit because it was hot in the sun. I've been in this Walmart for at least an hour and a half. So started out my day, planned en route, had 5 stores to go to. The first one being a good 45 minutes to an hour from home. Went straight there, did my sourcing. I was only in there 10-15 minutes. It was a Kroger marketplace and I was looking for specific items. It's hard to look up just Kroger Marketplace because all the Krogers come up. But there's some marketplaces in Atlanta that have a lot of hard goods, even clothes at some of them. And anyway, like I said, I was looking for specific things. So I only spent maybe 10-15 minutes in there, and the item that I was looking for was on clearance at another Kroger Marketplace, but these weren't marked. So I did ask, and they rang them up, and I'm not sure they were exactly the prices they were at the other marketplace, but they were on sale. All of them but one. One was just $1 off of $12. All the rest were about half price, but I was happy with that. So on to the next place, only about another 10 minutes away, and I'm almost exhausted. I spent a really long time in there. There was aisle after aisle of clearance, and I just did really, really well. Taking a sip of water here. I didn't just do toys. They had a lot of like barbecue items. I got one that literally had an inch of dust on them. I got 4 or 5 of those. Really will sell well. Obviously it'll sell a little better with spring coming up, but you know, I only got 4 of them, and I'll go ahead and ship them right in. They're not real heavy. They have a good rank now, but I think as the time gets warmer, they'll just fly out the door. So like I said, usually I can just go and go and go, and it doesn't bother me at all. I don't get very tired. I mean, I can go 10-12 hours, but for some reason I got up a little early this morning. I don't know if I didn't have enough sleep or just didn't eat enough breakfast, but I feel wiped out. And I'm at least an hour away from home, and I'm heading a little further away to at least 3 more stores. So I went ahead and got myself some snacks. I'm not sure which I'm going to eat, or maybe all of them, but probably little by little. Get myself a little protein and get off my feet for a few minutes while I'm driving to the next stop. So I have something specific I want to talk to you about today, and it's limits. But I'm going to go ahead and drive on to the next store, get going, eat my snacks, and then I'll talk to you in just a little bit. Hey everybody, as you can see, it got dark on me. That's what I hate about winter. It just gets dark so early. It's only 6:30 and the sun's almost down. At least it's a little better than a few weeks back. I feel like it was 5:30. Oh, my little GPS just popped on, gave me some nice light there. Alright, so I was talking earlier about I've been outsourcing for today. I ended up filling up the truck, pretty much all the back of the truck, and the back seat, and the front seat, and the floor in the front seat, and the floor in the back seat. I had one of those days where there was no store I didn't get something. But you know, what I was talking about was limits and limiting, and one of the things I always say is you can't be afraid to leave with nothing, because it's really better to buy nothing than bad product. Just don't feel like you have to be forced. Don't feel like you have to buy something every time you go in a store. You know, set those limits and stick to them. I mean, and that could be dollar amount limits. That could be, I don't want to buy anything over 400,000 Rankin toy, or I don't want to buy anything that doesn't make a certain profit. And there have been times when I've done that, you know, like, well, I'm restricted on Amazon, so I'll sell this on eBay. But then I look at it and they're not that great, and I think, oh, but this, but that. And when I have to think about it too hard, I made a rule about halfway into last year. When I have to think about it more than 2-3 minutes, like come up with a way to be able to sell it, then I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. And I've really been pretty good about sticking to that. And you know, I'm trying to go up from sales from last year, and I did really well last year. I doubled my sales from 2017. So I'm kind of at a limit of what I can do by myself. I do have a helper every Monday, although she had family problems and I didn't have her much of December. I had somebody fill in a little bit for her. So yeah, that's just that. You know, stuff happens. So either I probably need to get more people to help me process, or I need to buy items that have a higher profit to them in whole dollars. You know, I need, my ASP is about $23.79, and I would like to get that up. So I'm kind of trying to stop buying those little $10 items, even if they're $1. I want to make more per item. Now, I'm not going to skip something that's $1, has no sticker on it, is going to bring me back 3 or 4, and they're very light. You know, there's certain things. Again, it's hard to say a hard and fast rule. So that's one thing about, you know, stick to your limits that you set for yourself. But the other thing, and this is 2 big things kind of came up in my business the last month or so. So really good deal came about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I don't know, the time, I'm not very good with time. I don't even know what day of the week it is usually, because you know, when you work for yourself, you pretty much work all the time. But this really good deal came about, and I told my husband, you know, I might drive a couple states over and go pick up this really good deal. And then the more I thought about it, I could have made money on it, but the storage was difficult. I had a long drive to go to. It was very cold where it was. I would have been working out in the cold. It just, one thing after another kind of made it a no-go. Even though I was itching to do it right away when I first heard about it. So I talked myself out of it, but in a good way, I think. I think it would have been, even though I would have made money, there would have been money in it. You know, I would have had to put a lot of money in it to make that money, and it would have been quite a bit of time and just physical effort that I could have been using that time, money, and effort at home, making more than I could have taken that long drive and doing that. Other circumstances, I might have gone ahead and done it. It was closer. It wasn't as oversized as it was. You know, I might have gone ahead and done that. So I'm not saying don't step out there, don't think outside the box, those kind of things. But think about, you know, your time and your money, as well as just the profit that you're going to make. Then another thing came up just yesterday, I think it was, a reseller that I know who sells lots and lots of clothes. And he has, I don't know if it's exactly a wholesale supplier, but he buys in big quantity. And he had posted that he had a super good deal, but he had already bought so much this month, he physically couldn't handle taking any more merchandise on. And oh, it was like, I mean, I believe some good money could be made off these items, and I was wanting to jump on that so bad. But then it's like, wait a minute, you hate clothes, you don't like listing on eBay. And actually, it was probably only a handful of listings, but it was over 2,000 items. And so there was storage and taking care of it, and you know, eBay is not really my thing right now. So yes, there's money to be made, so I kind of had to talk myself down off the ledge on that one as well. Because I could go out there and I could train somebody, and but then I've got, you know, several $1,000s sitting in that I could be using to turn over and over probably 2-3 times before I sold all that out. And there wasn't a guarantee to sell it all. It was pretty specific, and it was a sporting type clothing. But anyway, I talked myself out of that one as well. And I kind of felt better after I talked myself out of it, because like I said, I don't like clothing, and I don't like, it's not that I don't like eBay so much. I don't mind the shipping at all. I don't mind buying stuff, but I really don't like the listing, and I'm going to be working on. I have somebody that, a close family friend who's in college and wants to make a little extra money on the side, and I think that will work out. We just haven't. I've been writing out the instructions and stuff, but we haven't set a time to sit down and FaceTime each other or Google Hangout or whatever. That's probably what we'll do, because she is a few hours away. I think that's all I was going to talk about with the limiting thing. I mean, it's really just set some limits for yourself and stick to your guns. So again, I don't say don't go outside the box and do something different. And there's lots of ways to make money. But try not to pull yourself in too many directions as well, because, well, we all have that shiny object syndrome. This year it's everybody wants to do wholesale. This year it's everybody wants to do bundles. This year it's everybody's going to do books, and people just dive for those categories. And, you know, the questions that I see on Scott's show in the morning, a lot of people ask over and over, you know, I have this amount of money, what should I buy? Well, the goal is not really to, okay, I have $1,000, let's go spend the $1,000 and make money on that. I would say just start shopping and finding items that you can make good profit on. And don't worry about, I have to spend the $1,000. You know, spend it little by little. Maybe you'll make some mistakes, maybe you'll find some great stuff, but that combination won't hurt you as much as if you go out and buy $1,000 worth of product, and then what if $800 of it was a bad buy? I mean, some people just teach you just jump in and be all in, and that's okay if that's your personality, if you have the money, the time, that kind of thing. But just the way I started, I was working another job, and I was doing this on the side, and I'm just cautious. I'm maybe a little too cautious. But I went from buying like 6 at a time to last year, or 2017, 12 at a time. This year by Q4 I was buying, 48 at a time. I don't know, there might have been a few things I bought more of than that, but I know my son looks at me and I'll be like, why didn't you just buy them all, Mom? But I'll get there. Anyway, I think that's about all I wanted to talk to you about today. I had one of those really, really good days where I almost don't want to go home, but my feet are pretty tired. I think I've sourced 3 days this week, and 3 pretty long days. So I asked my employee if she could come Monday and Tuesday, because I got a lot to ship. I mean, I'm not sure we'll be able, once I empty this out, to walk in the area that we use to prep. So I've got some stuff just hanging out on some shelving that's older stuff, and I just need to box that all up for right now and really utilize my shelving. I got some of the same items at this Walmart and maybe another Walmart across town, so I will try and do a little prep before she comes on Monday and kind of empty out the car, empty out all the bags on the floor and stacked on the shelves, and kind of put like things near each other, because when we work off the shelves we do pretty well with that. I'll fill I have these 4-foot racks. They have maybe 5-6 shelves to them, and they're on wheels, so I can wheel it into the middle of the room. She can be pulling stickers off from her side of the room, and I can be labeling from my side of the room. So that's kind of, when we have a large quantity of stuff, that's the way we kind of try to work it. So that's our system for right now. Which, another thing I really need to be doing is writing down all my systems. It's taken a while to kind of develop the way we do things. It's not really perfect. I still would like to be more efficient. I'm not super efficient. When I used to be in retail management, I had a lady that worked under me who was way more efficient than me, and she used to teach me how to be more efficient, so you really need to do this way. And I always say, I've been in retail management, I was district manager. Never be afraid to hire smarter people under you, because especially when it's not your strength, So the lady that I have working for me now is very organized, cleans up before she leaves. If I finish a shipment after she's left, you know, my office is in a frenzy. But that's just me. And I've done okay for all these years. So, but I never mind, you know, help and information that'll make my business better. So I am going to try and hit all this traffic in Atlanta. It's getting to be closer to 7 now, so it should be slightly lighter. We got the big Super Bowl this weekend here, so won't be going anywhere near the downtown area. I'm not sure if I'll be shopping more this weekend. I wouldn't mind it, but my husband hasn't seen me much this week, so I had a store I really want to go to up in Dawsonville, which is about an hour away, and we really like to go up to the mountains sometimes on the weekends, and it's up towards the mountains. So I was thinking I might say, hey honey, do you want to go up to the mountains for Saturday? And oh yeah, there's just one store I want to stop at up there. He knows me better than that. I like to stop at all the stores, but usually he gives me a limit. Like he'll say, we'll see a Walmart up ahead. You want to stop at that Walmart? Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you don't mind. Is it going to be a quick one or a long one? Oh, I'm just going to grab the things I know. Okay. And by about the third or fourth one, he'll be like, okay, that's enough stores. He always carries his Kindle and reads in the truck. So anyway, we'll see what I do this weekend. We'll be talking to you again next week, and I'm going to be on Scott's channel on Tuesday and Thursday mornings now. Even though I don't like to get up that early, but actually when Scott asked me, I thought, you know, that'll help me get up earlier. At least 2 days a week. I don't get up really late, like I don't sleep till noon or anything, but I usually get up at 7:30, but then I sit back and have 1 cup of coffee and then another cup of coffee and check my Amazon, work on my inventory, check my Facebook, do whatever, and all of a sudden I realize it's 9 o'clock and I'm not down in my office yet. So of course, here's the thing is I'll be getting up early, but then I'll be on the show till, I think, you know, we're usually on till 9:20, but I'll be ready to go after that because I have to sort of get up and at least get dressed before the show. I didn't have to Thursday because no one could see me or John. Not sure what happened. Google Hangouts are just funny sometimes. So anyway, happy hunting, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.